Supergirl sees more than anyone who has ever lived. She does not just look at the world, she dissects it. Layers peel away under her gaze, revealing structures, forces, and truths that were never meant to be visible at once.
Her vision is not a single power. It is a spectrum of perception stacked upon itself. X-ray, microscopic, telescopic, electromagnetic. She can see through walls, cells, atmospheres, and space itself. Reality does not hide from her.
To a human, sight is interpretation. To Supergirl, sight is exposure. There is no mystery unless something actively resists her perception, and that makes her presence dangerous in a world built on symbolism and unseen forces. Ancient Egypt was not a civilization obsessed with prediction, it was obsessed with order. Ma'at was not fate as a destination, but balance as a process. Destiny was not fixed, it was weighed, measured, and constantly adjusted.
Prophecies in Egypt were never blueprints. They were warnings, metaphors, divine impressions filtered through dreams, omens, and ritual language. Truth existed behind layers of meaning, protected by mystery itself.
The gods did not speak plainly because reality was not plain. Fate was wrapped in images because humans were not meant to see the machinery behind existence. The veil was not ignorance, it was protection.
Then Supergirl arrives. A being whose senses were never designed for veils. A consciousness that processes reality faster than symbolism can obscure it. She does not interpret, she observes.
The first paradox emerges immediately. Can prophecy survive direct observation? If destiny is symbolic, what happens when someone sees the physical mechanisms behind the symbols?
When Supergirl looks at a temple wall, she does not just see hieroglyphs. She sees mineral composition, residual energy, microscopic wear patterns, and possibly traces of divine radiation embedded in stone.
If a god leaves an imprint on reality, her vision may detect it, not as myth, as measurable distortion. Fate, once poetic, becomes data. But data does not equal understanding. Seeing everything does not mean knowing what matters. Supergirl risks drowning in information, unable to distinguish destiny from coincidence. Ancient prophecy relied on limitation, on partial knowledge forcing reflection. Supergirl's vision removes limitation entirely, and that alone may disrupt fate more than any action.
What if the duat leaves echoes? Vibrational residues of souls, timelines overlapping like interference patterns. Could her hearing perceive whispers of the dead not as voices, but as frequencies?
If fate exists as probability rather than decree, then observing it collapses it. The observer effect is not scientific theory here, it becomes metaphysical law.
The moment Supergirl sees a possible future, that future is no longer untouched. Knowledge introduces intention. Intention introduces deviation.
Does seeing destiny make her responsible for it? If she sees a pharaoh's downfall, is intervention mercy or violation? If she prevents suffering, does she fracture Ma'at itself?
Ethics become unbearable at this scale. Non-intervention is still a choice. Allowing fate to proceed requires faith in systems she did not grow up believing in.
Her presence alone destabilizes belief. Priests sense it. Oracles fall silent. Omens lose clarity. The gods do not vanish, but their messages grow uncertain.
Some worship her. Others fear her. A being who sees what gods obscure becomes a threat not to power, but to meaning.
Yet Supergirl does not invalidate belief. She reframes it. She confirms that forces exist beyond human perception, but challenges the idea that they are infallible. The gods may see her as anomaly or catalyst, a variable never accounted for. Destiny was written without Kryptonian vision in mind. Perhaps fate was never absolute. Perhaps it relied on no one seeing the whole picture. Supergirl breaks that assumption. A new equilibrium emerges. Ma'at does not shatter. It adapts. Balance shifts around a being who cannot unsee truth. Egypt does not lose its destiny. It evolves it. Prophecy becomes dialogue rather than decree. Choice gains weight.
Supergirl learns something as well. Seeing fate does not grant control, it grants humility. Knowing outcomes does not erase uncertainty, it magnifies responsibility.
She becomes not an oracle, but a witness, not rewriting destiny, but forcing it to acknowledge choice.
In this timeline, the gods are not dethroned. They are questioned. Humanity grows bolder. Belief becomes reflective rather than obedient.
Supergirl does not rule Egypt, she changes how it thinks. The greatest alteration is not events, but perspective.
Perhaps destiny was never meant to be hidden forever. Perhaps it waited for a mind capable of seeing it without worshipping it.
And that raises a final question. If you could see fate clearly, without metaphor or mystery, would you follow it, fight it, or change it? Share what you believe destiny would mean under a gaze like hers in the comments. If this collision of myth and science fascinated you, support the video with a like. And if you want more cosmic thought experiments that challenge heroes and gods alike, subscribe.